700 million a year. I don't actually believe this. I don't believe it. I think there's some rumors there that may not be fully true. Because this doesn't make any sense for Saudi Arabia whatsoever. I know these people shit money. I know money is no factor for them, but even for them, this doesn't make sense. Offering someone 700 million a year and he can leave next year. And I could have even understood if it was a free transfer, but they still have to pay PSG 300 million. I mean, why did they even have to bid up to 300 million? They could have bidded 150. PSG would have probably accepted that as well. So I don't really get this, to be honest with you. This is really, really confusing. But if this is true, if this is absolutely true, Kylian Mbappe would be the most stupid person in history, not just in football, in history, if he were to reject this. Clearly, he values his money. And that is fine. A lot of people value their money. Most human beings value their money. See, for example, Jordan Henderson, the guy that was all year talking about LGBT rights, this, and that. But now that the money has been offered, he doesn't care going to a country with LGBT issues. He doesn't care. He's going to take the money. As most human beings, most people that are trying to act like they're sanctimonious, that they will never do any wrong, it's because they have not been put in a position not to do any wrong. So I think Mbappe should accept this. If this is true, if this is actually true, which I doubt, I really do doubt that it is true. But if it is true, he should take this money. And I'm a Madrid fan, but I do not care waiting for him 1 year. And I don't even want to sign him for this amount of money that PSG wants. Like, I just feel it's a very, very stupid financial decision. I know Madrid has the money that have planned for Mbappe for how many years now and all that. Fine, that is true. But paying 200 million for a player that you could have gotten for free last summer, a player that you can get for free next summer, you can even start negotiating to get him for free by January. Paying 200 million for him makes no sense to me. And all these desperate Madrid fans that I've been seeing online talking about the fact that, oh, even if you sign in for free, you still have to pay money. Duh. You still have to pay money, obviously. But there's a difference between paying the money to PSG and paying the money to Mbappe. Which one would you prefer? Which one would you prefer? As long as I'm concerned, it's a very easy choice. Let's look at it this way. We all know why Mbappe wants to stay at PSG. He wants to get his loyalty bonus, which is upwards of over £100 million. And he also wants to be able to collect a sign-on fee from Madrid of between 100 to 150 million as well. That is totaling towards 250 million. So what makes you think he won't ask for a signing bonus if you sign him now, if you pay for him now? What makes you think so? Like, some of the arguments that I see is like the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. He will still ask for a signing bonus of at least 100 million. If you think Mbappe is just going to come to Madrid without that signing bonus, without getting his money, you are in dreamland. He's going to ask for his money. He wants to get his money. And I don't blame him. Right now, he's at his prime. He has all the leverage in the world. He should wield that leverage. I'm not one of these people that talks about that thinks he's killing his career. Mbappe is still achieving everything he's supposed to achieve. He's still being heralded as one of the best players in the world, probably the best, despite the fact that he's choosing money at every turn. So he's still getting everything that he's supposed to get while still choosing money. So why wouldn't he continue choosing money? So if you think paying PSG 200 million or 150, at the least, I don't think PSG will accept anything less than 150. Giving that money to PSG, instead of keeping that money and giving it to Mbappe himself. I don't know. I really don't understand the business acumen of that. Because at the end of the day, if you want Mbappe to be part of Madrid's salary structure, which is supposed to be reasonable, what better way to achieve that than for him to get his load of money in the bank, then he can now come and get by with the salary structure. If I were him, that's what I would insist on. That being said, if PSG were open to selling this guy for 120 million, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with paying that money as a Madrid fan. I think we need the guy right now. But if it's over 150, I just feel at that point, you are rescuing PSG. You are rescuing PSG from their stupid decisions. They made the stupid decision to give Mbappe all this power. They should pay for it. And I know that sounds petty, but at this point, it seems like Madrid fans are so desperate. What is the desperation about? Okay, some people are fearing that he could change his mind before next year. I mean, if Mbappe is that kind of person, do you really want him? I mean, if he's so hell-bent on coming to Madrid, if between now and next year, all of a sudden he changes his mind, he wants to go to another team, do you really want someone like that? Really? No matter how good he is, do you really want someone like that? And we have never started talking about what the issues may be with Mbappe and Vinicius. I know people just throw it out there like, oh, you can play the 9. Yeah, he can play the 9. But is he really suited? And this is not just about if someone can, if someone is ready to play. I think Mbappe is fine with wanting to play the 9 position at Madrid. I think he understands that Madrid is not PSG, that he has to follow the rules. But him playing the 9 clearly will not get the best out of him. The way Mbappe attacks, he comes from the left. It's just like almost all the attacks I've seen from Mbappe, he comes from the left. That is his strength. He comes from the left, exploits his pace and his trickery from the left. That is it. So to just say, oh, just put him at the 9 is going to adapt. Like, I don't really get it. I've watched Mbappe a lot. I like the guy. I think he's a left winger. I just do not. Obviously, if you have a choice to put Mbappe on the left and push Vinicius on the right, that is a no-go area. Vinicius is absolutely terrible at the right, so that one is not. It can't even work. So the best option is obviously Vinicius remains at the left wing and Mbappe plays striker. At least Mbappe is good enough as striker, even if that is not his best position. His best position is at left wing. So I actually look at this thing and I'm like, you're signing a player of this caliber and you're not even going to use his talents properly because you have another person that is also almost equally as talented, if not close to him, if not on the same level. So it's at the end of the day, this is Madrid. It's always about Galacticos and all this stuff. And someone may listen to me now and think I'm like, okay, go and sign Ken. No, Ken is 30. I'm not interested in signing players that are up to 30. I would prefer, even if I don't like Erling Haaland, I think it's a tapping merchant. I would prefer someone like Erling Haaland over Mbappe at Madrid. Do I think Erling Haaland is a better player than Mbappe? Not even close. Like, they're not in the same stratosphere as far as I'm concerned. Personally, I know most people put them in the same stratosphere because everybody looks at goals and assists now. Nobody looks at gameplay. Nobody looks at eye test. Everything is goals, and assists. So that's not really my fault. But just for me, I watch the games and I'm using my eye test. Mbappe and Haaland are not on the same level whatsoever. Mbappe is so clear of Haaland. It's actually very, very funny when I see people trying to compare the two of them. It's almost like comparing Thierry Henry and Filippo Inzaghi. Seriously, it's actually embarrassing. But despite that, I would prefer Haaland because I know most Madrid fans are just brushing this off. It's going to be difficult. It's actually going to be difficult. I don't think it's going to be smooth sailing. Two of them are going to clash in that left wing. Not clash physically, but when they are playing their gameplay, Vinicius is supposed to come from the left, Mbappe is supposed to come from the left. The center is going to be empty. Nobody's going to be in the center. There's nobody in the center there to finish, like, in terms of the gameplay. There's nobody in the center because Mbappe's instinct to go to the left. No matter how he wants to try to adapt to play the 9, his instinct will be on the left. So you always try to drift to the left. Vinicius is basically a left wing hugger. He hugs the left wing. So both of them are going to be clashing. That's just the truth. I know most people don't want to think about that because you have the chance to get Mbappe. You have to sign him and think about it later. Well, the first Galacticos were doing things like that, and look how that turned out. Signing players and thinking about the solution later. So I'm just saying. I'm not saying it won't work. I think it will work. But I still think with that particular situation, we will not be getting the best out of Kylian Mbappe. That is just what I'm saying. We could probably get like 80 to 85% of him, not 100% or not 98%. Which, that's what most Madrid fans would want, right? So if you now get 80% of him or 85% of him, is that good enough? I guess so. I guess it's good enough. But I'm just saying, that is the situation. So the way people are just brushing it off like it doesn't really matter, Mbappe can just play the 9. You need to go and watch this guy. I know that people just use, and everything is statistics now. People just use the map. the map of him and Benzema. It's not the same thing. If you watch Benzema's game and watch Mbappe's game, you would understand that it is not the same thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you. Go and watch the two of them again and tell me if that is the same kind of gameplay. They may have the same map, like most people are saying, same map, Mbappe and Benzema, same map. But it's not the same thing. Go and watch the way Benzema plays. Benzema can hold up the ball, link up play. Mbappe is more about the person that links up, the person that, like Giroud for France, Giroud holds the ball, links it up with Mbappe. Mbappe is like the secondary link-up guy. He's not the primary link-up guy. Benzema is a primary link-up guy. That fits with Vinicius. Vinicius is the secondary link-up guy. Benzema was the primary link-up guy. Right now, you have Mbappe, who he is so far in his career, the secondary link-up guy, not the primary link-up guy. That's not the truth. He's not the primary link-up guy. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this works. I would love to be wrong. I'm a Madrid fan. I would love to be wrong. Let's see how that turns out. But Mbappe has to accept this fee, has to accept this offer if it's actually true.